going? Hey, how's it going? So welcome back. Today I wanted to share some latest receivings. Yes, I was gifted a couple things for an event in particular. I wanted to share, I have four books, and 4 surprise items. So let's go. The first thing I was gifted was this super cool looking Female Killers in Early Modern Britain by Blessin Adams. The Savage Woman. 8 cases of women who were killers. So we have The Fall of Canbury Bess. I don't know any of these, by the way, so if anyone knows in the comments. Arden of Faversham, Do or Die, 0 clue as to what that is. Whom the Law Hath Found Guilty, probably an innocent woman. The Hatred of Hags, I don't know who that is. The Wise Woman of Wapping, A Mess of Mass Poisoners, interesting, and A Quiet Killer, and conclusion. All right, so there we go. It looks really interesting and it smells divine. This brings me back to the days where I was in a true crime book club back in, well, I joined in 2019 and then it lasted until 2020. At least that's when I left. But Peter Mon, if you know him, his booktube channel is Peter Likes Books. He has a bajillion channels. But back in the day, he used to have a true crime book club called a True Crime Book Club. It doesn't exist anymore, sadly, but I was a part of it. And I remember I had so much fun with that monthly. I used my Audible credit for it. I'm not on Audible anymore. Boo, Amazon. But I used my credit on a true crime book. Now I listen to podcasts, so I'm still interested in the topic, but it's not the same. I think what I really enjoyed is having that monthly meetup, because reading by yourself is always different than actually getting to talk about it with people. So anyway, next up, I was gifted these 2 books together by Jo Nesbø, who is a Norwegian author. So my friend knew about this Reading Around the World project, and I have to talk about this more. But so it's basically where I read a book whose author is from every country in the world. And boy, did she luck out, because she didn't really know specifically which countries I had read from already. And let me tell you, I read Sweden and I read Finland. I did not read Norway yet. So I look forward to this. These are both in French. The first is L'Homme Chauve-souris, or Man is Bat, I don't know. And Harry Hole, which I assume is the translator, by the way. So sadly, there's a sticker. At least we know there's a Netflix show if you are so inclined as to watch it instead of read it. I don't have Netflix. Maybe I'll mooch someone else's Netflix. I don't want to support him. And Les Cafards, or The Cockroaches, which this is a very cool cover. So these are both cop/detective stories, but dark, like they like it in the north. And so these are cop things, but they have a lot of gore in them, or very graphic things, is what I'm told. I had read books of police stories from Sweden. I remember liking them. I think I didn't like the author's writing, and I forget who it is. So yeah, so I look forward to reading these. These look very interesting, and I think what they have is that gory dimension that the other books didn't have. So I think they'll be good. The next book I was given is actually a graphic novel, and boy, it is so gorgeous. Are you ready? Magical music. Pow. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, illustrated by David Sala. This is so gorgeous. And the book edition is, or the publisher, sorry, is Casterman. If you are interested, look at the inside. Hold on. Wait, okay. I got lipstick on the cover. Okay. Okay, isn't it gorgeous? Oh my gosh, the cover, doesn't this remind you of Klimt, the Kiss painting by Klimt? It's so gorgeous. Anyway, this will be super fun. I read Frankenstein, I think it was 2018 or 19. It was pre-COVID, so a different world. So I have reread books in the past, some for school, some for fun, and I realized that I don't mind. It's not something I do often at all. In fact, I could count on one hand the amount of books I read twice. But I found that if I'm going to reread a book, it's so much funner to read it in a different format. What I mean by that is, actually the only book I've reread in a different format is Indian Horse by Richard Wagamese, or Wagamese, I'm not sure. So I first read it in French, and it was titled Jeu Blanc, which literally translates to white game because it's about hockey. Well, tangent to hockey. And I loved it so much, but the author is Canadian, and I assumed, Canadians are all, French is a national language in parts of Canada, so I assumed, maybe he wrote it in French, but no. And so I decided, you know what, I love the book so much, I'm gonna reread it in English, and I loved it just as much the second time, but I think it was also more enjoyable because it didn't feel so repetitive. So actually, maybe that's a good way to reread books that you like a lot. Maybe just find a different format, maybe a different edition, maybe read it in audio form instead of physical copy. I don't know. Maybe watch the movie. I guess, it's kind of like that. It's when you watch the movie after reading the book. So, but this, my goodness, is so gorgeous. Okay. The first surprise item I'm going to have here is something I would suggest everyone includes in a gift-giving action. Candy! I love jelly beans. Yes, this has been opened. To what capacity? I don't know. The other thing is, okay, this is a little bit more niche than candy, perhaps, not for everyone, but as a French person, I can say I love a good bottle of wine. I've never had this one. It's Régnier. It's Régnier. I don't think I've had this one, so we'll see. And the last two surprise items are really, really cool. So these are puzzles. Okay, so let me show you the first one, which is by Michelle Wilson. If you see here, both of these are from little artist shops. These are 350-piece puzzles. Now, usually I do 1,000-piece puzzles, but you will see when they are handmade, they are cut very differently. These aren't like your regular square shapes with little indents. Maybe you could see it here, you see they're all like very squiggly shapes, and because of that, the difficulty level is akin to that of a 1,000-piece puzzle. So the reason they do that, it's explained here in the back, is because they're handmade, might as well actually respect the image and not have like a slash in the middle of someone's face. So they'll adapt the shape to the actual image, which is very cool. So this one is La Chute des Anges Rebelles by Bruegel, or The Fall of the Rebel Angels. You can pause and read more here if you want. And this is a painting that is available at the Beaux-Arts Museum in Brussels, in Belgium, if you're interested. And the next one, this is a fully handmade painting, so I don't know where the painting is found. If I can open the box. Isn't it beautiful? It's flowers in a field, and yeah, it's in a bag. It's so awesome. Check it out. here are the individual pieces. Hold on. Whoa. Hold on. What is that? I'm a makeup guru. They are so awesome, and then they're just orange on the back, but like me. Yeah, these are awesome gifts. I can't wait to try these out. One thing I actually think is really cool about these is that they are obviously there's the whole number of pieces count is different, but also that means that the actual puzzle itself is much smaller. Let me see, how big is this one? It's 21 by 28.5 centimeters, so it's like about the size on an A4 paper, about something like that. So it's a little more manageable, because one thing I love 1,000-piece puzzles, right? But man, do they take up a lot of space. That's been my haul. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some fun ideas for gift giving if you are in that position to give or receive. Give yourself something every now and then. You know what? You deserve it. You deserve it. Life is hard. Do it. Anyway, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!